Hi there, how are you? This is Lois Gidiga. Welcome back to my channel. I just want to give a quick update on the Rural Northern Immigration Program, in particular the community of Thunderbay. Thunderbay, it's among the 11 communities which are participating in this program, and so far 2 have started taking applications, and Thunderbay had indicated that they will start taking applications on January 2nd. That was yesterday. This hasn't happened yet, and they have said on their website that they're going to be releasing that information soon. So in the next few weeks, we should keep an eye on that. And as soon as I get that information, I'm going to relay it to you. But then again, it's also good to have this the talk we are going to have tonight, so that you're ready and prepared for when these jobs are listed. So you're going to find that, as we said, the communities are listing for jobs that they need. So they have particular skill sets that they need that are going to fuel the economy, to grow the economy of these communities. So one of the main eligibility is a job. You're going to need a genuine job offer. You're also going to need to meet the federal eligibility criteria that they set up. You're also going to need to meet the community eligibility criteria. So far, we do not have the community eligibility for this Thunderbay, but we know the federal eligibility criteria that we talked about. And I'm going to put a link of the video that I did in the past on the Rural Northern Immigration Program, just so that you can go through and see the finances, education, language, and that kind of stuff that you need to be able to participate in this class. So Thunderbay is in Ontario, that is in Eastern Canada, and it is west of Toronto, in the northwestern part of Ontario. So Ontario is the province, but now it's west of Toronto. It's still out there. That's why it's a small community. It's about 14 hours drive from Toronto. If you're coming from Calgary and you want to drive, you want to go on a road trip, it's about 20 hours drive from Calgary. So as you know, Canada is wide. Canada is it's widespread. So the community, the provinces are widespread. It's a vast country. So you're going to find that you could be in the same province, but then you, as we said, you're driving 14 hours from Toronto. The population of Thunderbay is about 100,000 people, and that is according to 110,000 to be precise. That is according to the statistics done in 2017. What you're going to find there is that it's relatively small when you compare it to cities like Toronto that have a population of 2.93 million people. So what that then means is that, and I've said this before, and I'm just going to repeat this, is that because of that small population, they are not going to have a lot of jobs, especially the jobs needed for this program. So competition is going to be high. So make sure before you apply, go through your qualifications, check through the eligibility to make sure that you're giving yourself the best shot. I said competition is going to be high, and they're going to be looking for the best fit. That is, people who are going to fit to this community, that you adhere, you desire, you are designed to enjoy the lifestyle of the community. You are that person that they're going to say, yes, this is a person we want to be part of our community. This is a person who has been recommended by the community. This is a person who has ties in this community, and this is a person who has a job. So that is the person that every community is looking for. So just make sure that you're not just throwing your darts out there. So just to, I'm going to give a breakdown of the skill sets also, because what I've realized is, because every community is unique, then they have a unique way of living. They have unique needs. So depending on the main lifestyle, depending on the main economic drive, that is what is going to determine the kind of jobs they need for this particular program. So we've talked about the location, we've talked about the population, the lifestyle in Thunder Bay. We said that it's between Lake Superior and the wilderness, so it's a lakefront community. So there's a lot of skiing, snowmobiling, ice fishing in wintertime. In summertime, there's a lot of hiking and climbing, and in the fall, there's a lot of hunting. Simply because also it's a small community. You're going to find that everywhere you're gonna go in that city is within a 10-minute commute. That is good. That is good news. You're not going to be spending a lot of time on traffic, and I think that also speaks on the quality of life that you get in this city. Because it's a small community, then it's an intimate community. It's a community that is known for welcoming newcomers. So then you're not spending a lot of time commuting, you're walking just near where you live. So then the quality of life gets better. You get to spend time with people you love. You get to spend time with your children. So it's a really, really, really good community. It has about 55,000 private homes. And the cost of living there is also relatively cheaper when you compare it with other big cities like Calgary or Toronto or Vancouver. For instance, their housing, the cost of a house, the average cost of a house in Thunder Bay is about $200,000. And that is very cheap when you compare to places like Calgary, where an average house is $413. So that is way more than half of the housing here in Calgary. And also other aspects of life are also relatively cheaper. And as I said, because you're not commuting a lot, then you're also not using a lot of gas, so it's way cheaper, and it's a nice lifestyle. It's a lifestyle that encourages a lot of interaction, a lot of community. The average salary in Thunder Bay is about $3,000 per person. So again, because the cost of living is lower, then that $3,000 can still afford you a reasonable lifestyle. Okay, yes. So I'm just gonna go through the skill sets needed, but before I get there, I just wanna talk about the main employers. Remember, we said it's a small town, it's a small community, so we don't have like thousands of employers out there, but the majority of them are focused mainly on education and health services. So this is the top 10 employers in Thunder Bay. The first one is Thunder Bay Regional Health Sciences Center. The other one is Lake, and I'm just going through my list here. The other one is Lakehead District School Board. We also have St. John's Care Group. There's the City of Thunder Bay. There's Government of Ontario. There's Thunder Bay Catholic District School Board. There's a Confederation College. There's Government of Canada, and last but not least, there's Bombardier Transportation. So you're going to see that most of these employers are geared in transportation, in health, and in education. So now that takes us to the next step, and maybe the final step of this talk. It's talking about the skill sets that are needed. So people, just pay attention to this, because there's a lot of skill sets that are not needed in Thunder Bay, just so then you're not wasting your time applying for the wrong things. So they have jobs under skill sets A, B, C, D. Those are the no codes. Remember, we've talked about the no codes. And under no code A, these people need a lot of registered nurses, registered psychiatric nurses. They need physiotherapists, and they need engineers. For the engineers, they need civic, mechanical, electrical, and electronics engineers. That is for NOC code A. For NOC code B, that is where they have a lot of listings that are going to be coming out. And these are also now geared towards forestry. So they need forestry technicians and technologists. They need air pilots, flight engineers, and flying instructors. They need air traffic controllers and related occupations. They are going to need medical technologists and technicians. They need pharmacy technicians. They need LPNs, that is licensed practical nurses, they need early childhood educators and assistants, they need chefs, they need butchers, bakers, tile setters, construction millwrights and industrial mechanics. They also need heavy duty equipment mechanics. They need aircraft mechanics and aircraft inspectors. They need underground production and development miners. And last but not least, under that class, they need logging machine operators. Under NOC skill C, this is where they also need a number of skill sets. So just pay attention. I'm going to be putting this website on this video just so that you can go through. But they need dental assistants, nurse aides, they need residential and commercial installers and servicers. They need transport truck drivers. They need heavy equipment operators, except crane operators. So if you're a crane operator, Thunderbay is not the place for you. They need underground mine service and support workers. They need machine operators, mineral and metal processing. They need inspectors, testers, mineral and metal processing. I think I just repeated myself there. Beg your pardon. They need metal working and forging machine operaters. They need machine tool operators, other metal product machine operators. They need sawmill machine operators, pulp mill machine operators, paper making and finishing machine operators, paper converting machine operators. Last but not least, under that class, they need lumber graders and other wood processing inspectors and graders. Under NOC skill D, they only need one skill set. They only need one NOC, and that is NOC 7611. That is construction trade helpers and laborers. So you're going to see that those are the kind of jobs these people are going to be posting in the coming months, or in the period when this pilot program is going to be running. So if you're an accountant, doctor, finance, in administration, in insurance, if your skill set is not listed under here, then you're not going to be able to immigrate to Thunderbay through the Rural Northern Immigration Program through that job, because remember, they have the job requirements, and it has to be a job that falls within that list of skill sets. That said, it doesn't mean that if you find a job outside of this skill set, you cannot immigrate to Canada. No, as long as you have a job, then that gives you a lot of points that you can use to immigrate through the express entry or through the provincial nomination program. You can try that, the provincial nomination program for Ontario and other provincial nomination programs that we have. So that doesn't mean that if you're looking for a job, you can only look for this. This is only for this class, the Rural Northern Immigration Program. But if you get another job, good for you. You can be able to use that job to immigrate through other classes of immigration to Canada. So I think that's all about the things that I wanted to talk about today. As soon as I get new information on Thunderbay, I'll be the first person to let you know. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you have a good day, and see you on my next video. Thank you.